Hey everybody. Um, wasn't quite sure if I was going to do this. It's been 2 or 3 days since I've heard the news, and I'm just going to come out with it. I found out that on Thursday evening, my dear friend Juliette died. And she died from massive cancer outbreak. I wasn't going to do this. I thought that my grief should be my own, and I was going to keep it moving for the sake of keeping it moving, but I can't. I can't in good faith and good conscience keep going the way I'm going without addressing this issue, if for no other reason than to get closure. Now, the story of myself and Juliette, who we'll call Jules, started around 2000. I was living in England at the time, and I was going to a club. I was invited to go by some people. And one of the people was Juliette's mother. And I got there, and we said our pleasantries, and I was introduced to her. At which time I looked at her. She looked bored. And I said, "You don't want to be here, do you?" And she said, "No." But then she smiled, and we started talking. Found out we had quite a bit in common. Got to the point where on Tuesdays, where my wife would go to darts with her mates and compete, I would have her come over and we'd sing. And it was lovely. We go out from time to time, just hanging out and enjoying each other's company. Nothing major. And eventually, we began to go our separate ways. But we did so and as we were doing so, and quite some time after, I would always think to myself that one day I'm going to come back to England, I'm going to look her up, and we're going to catch up and reminisce. She was good people. Never disparaging word against anybody. She's someone who I am proud to call friend. She was one of the 5 friends that I can count on. And now she's gone. And there's so much I want to tell her. And I can't. How I would long for just one more interaction. Maybe we can go dancing. Maybe we could just sit around a pub and talk. Anything. And it's not going to happen. I'm never going to see her again. And it bothers me. It bothers me because she's one of those people, one of those things that we as humans tend to take for granted. They're always going to be there. There'll always be a tomorrow. Right up to the point where there isn't. I spoke to her sister a couple nights ago. And the oddest thing about it was that I was just thinking about her and saying, I need to call her this weekend just to say hi. And now I can't. She must have been in some pain at the end. The only person that could make it worse, or the only thing I should say that would make this worse, is if my beloved wife was the one I was talking to you about. So this is for you, Juliette. Wish we could have spent more time together. And I wish I could tell you how I felt about how good a friend you were. How you'd always have a kind word for people. You would never Goodbye, my dear friend. Maybe we'll see each other again sometime. But until then, know that you're always in my heart, and I'll miss you.